You are Locked On Syracuse, your daily podcast on the Syracuse Orange. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
At minimum, we got ourselves a quarterback competition between Rickie Collins and Steve Angeli. And the reason why we know it's really only those two quarterbacks is because Rickie Collins has already beaten out every other quarterback on Syracuse's roster. He got to Syracuse in December. He beat out Michael Johnson Jr., who's now in the transfer portal. He beat out redshirt freshman Jakari Williams. He beat out the true freshman in Luke Carney and Rich Bellin. He was named the team's starting quarterback, but in comes Steve Angeli. And even though he's only had limited experience, I think it's fair to assume that the absolute worst case for Steve Angeli is he's the team's backup quarterback next season. However, this possible quarterback competition is only really a possibility because it might not happen. I would not be surprised if Rickie Collins re-entered the transfer portal. And yes, you are allowed to do that. You can transfer to one school and then decide to re-enter the portal in another portal cycle, go to another school, and still be eligible to play the following season. You can do that. I'm also someone that never holds it against players for transferring out of a program. If you don't want to be here, you don't want to be here for one reason or another. It's the money, it's whatever the reason may be. It's the opportunity, the playing time. I get it. I wish you nothing but the best. But especially in the case of Rickie Collins, I can only speak for myself. I would not hold it against him at all if he decided to enter the transfer portal. Because think about it. This is a really cutthroat move by Syracuse football. That's why I ended the last segment by saying this is a controversial move, but in a good way. Because it's a good sign when your program or your favorite team acts in this type of manner. When they will stop at nothing to improve. I love how Syracuse is doing this. But I also am not going to hold it against Rickie Collins for Syracuse doing this. Does that make sense? Because think about it for Rickie Collins. He gets to Syracuse from LSU in December. Obviously, he does not want to be the backup anymore because if he was okay with just being a backup, he would have stayed at LSU. He could have been the backup right there. He would have sat behind Garrett Nussmeier for another year. Right? Same thing with Steve Angeli, by the way. I'm assuming that he wants to start. Why would he come to Syracuse to, like I said off the top, hold Rickie Collins' clipboard? Why would he want to do that? Neither quarterback would want to sit and be the backup. Rickie Collins gets here in December. He learns the offense. He wins the starting quarterback job. It's made public that he wins the starting quarterback job. And yet Syracuse brings in another quarterback after the spring game, during the spring portal cycle. And it's not just any quarterback, because we knew they were going to add one. It's a quarterback that can actually start. So I would not be surprised if we find out soon that Rickie Collins is entering the transfer portal. I wouldn't blame him one bit, just like I don't blame Syracuse for saying, we want to improve our team. And we don't care that we got Rickie Collins in December. And I love how Syracuse is being cutthroat. Because if you're loyal in sports, if you're a decision maker and you're loyal in sports, guess what? I can move over right here. There's a spot for you. You can sit right next to me and do the Locked On Syracuse podcast with me. There is no loyalty in sports. You cannot act like that. So I'm glad that Syracuse football is doing this because they want to improve their team. But the repercussion is you might lose Rickie Collins. As far as the other quarterbacks, I think the writing is on the wall with Jakari Williams. I know we got some Jakari Williams truthers in this chat. I understand. There are Jakari Williams truthers. This staff doesn't believe in him. They don't. Actions speak louder than words. They have now added 2 quarterbacks in the transfer portal. One in the last cycle, one in this cycle. They don't believe in Jakari Williams. Now, the true freshmen are the true freshmen. They probably weren't getting any playing time anyway. So I don't hold it against them at all. But for Jakari Williams, I think the ship has sailed. My prediction, someone's done. So someone's got to go. Is it going to be Jakari Williams? Is it going to be Rickie Collins? Who knows? But someone's going because someone's either the second string or the third string quarterback.